Voting. Hi guys. I got it. Google. Google. So we have what? 15 minutes to go through the whole history of the music business and all the peculiarities and minute details of today's music industry. So get ready for a ride. So, music business, first of all, somebody said with no business, you're left with music, and of course, with no music, you're left with nothing. So, whenever we talk about business and arts, let's remember the core, the heart, is the art. All the business thing comes much later. How's the music industry doing in the last 17, 18 years? From 40 billion turnover recorded industry, 15 billion, so it's almost close to 1/3. It was quite a disaster. Are we completely screwed? Is the legitimate question. The answer is not completely. So basically, the blue line is the CDs, the physical revenues, and something is happening here. We are going back because the orange and the yellow stepped in, the digital downloads and subscription revenues from streaming services. We'll get into that. The 20th century was dominated by, we missed one. No, actually, before the 20th century, there were the beginning of history, in which live music was the only music business basically existing. Then from the 15th century, printed music started developing because printing was invented. What was invented in the 20th century? Recording technology. So the record industry was born and dominated the 20th century. So record industry, record labels. They were holding the gates, they were keeping the gates of the whole industry because they were huge elephants. They were very big. They were controlling who they were discovering and pushing, so they were developing new artists. They were the owners and controllers of all the studio technology, recording technology, so recording studios, all the people that work in the studios, the factories that made the records, vinyls, cassettes, CDs, the trucks, the planes, the ships that were selling and shipping this stuff all over the world, and the relationship with the shops, the stores, the retailers, as well as radio, TV, so all the marketing channels that they have. So they were just absolute dominators. What has happened in the last 20 years? A few causes happened, some things happened. The CD was invented. From the CD that for the first time digitized the music, so it was, this digitized music was turned into MP3 files in the mid-90s, shared on peer-to-peer networks in the late 90s. Then downloads started, and commercial downloads with iTunes in 2003. And then streaming started around 2008. Let's say the first mainstream mover was Spotify. And so in basically 17, 18 years, a number of technological revolutions happened one after the other at a pace that was never seen before. On the artist side, home recording became possible, digital distribution, so you can distribute your own music through all the main platforms alone, basically. You don't need a distributor. Direct to fan, D2F, it's direct to fan interaction, so you can talk directly with your fans, something that was not possible unless you met them in person before. And online education for me is of paramount importance. You can learn anything about music, about business, about life, about whatever you want online today. So reaching a certain level of skill is just a matter of working hard, not a matter of accessing the knowledge anymore. So these were the main causes. What are the main effects? Two different kinds of music industries developed. One that is rooted in the business model of the past. So it's the big record labels and that are playing by the rules that they know really well, even though today they are mostly providing financing and marketing services, not all the services that were provided before, and independent musicians that are writing their own rules and writing their own business models every day, basically, in infinite different ways. And this is super exciting. We are talking about the causes, the defects, sorry, so physical gave way to digital. So, today when you see the revenues are mostly from digital stuff, not from physical disc. And ownership gave way to access. So you don't need to own the file today or the record, but you need to access it in the best way, basically. So, download versus streaming in our case. And the direct connection and authentic dialogue between artists and fans. So now independent musicians have more power than they ever had before. And they can enjoy a new colorful palette of revenue streams. And it's colorful because if you look at the revenue streams before the, say, internet revolution, so before what we're talking about here, it was basically a single revenue stream from recorded music. And live concerts were more a promotional effort, often loss-making, in order to sell more records. So it was quite straightforward, quite simple. Today, you can have a number of revenue streams. And you see, this was the world before iTunes, or actually at the beginning of iTunes, 2004. iTunes was released 2003, where digital downloads were 1.5%. After only 8 years in 2012, digital downloads from 1.5% went to 40.4%, and physical declined from 98.4% to 39.9%. And then there's subscription services like streaming, performance royalties, sync, and here is only recorded music. It's not live music and other revenue streams. Look what happened the first half of this year. Streaming, that was here, 8.1%, is now number one at 47%. Permanent download is 31%, and physical supports are going down and down. They're not disappearing, but they're going down and down. So, what can you do with all these changes? I mean, a lot of things can be done, but what is necessary is a mindset shift. As Einstein famously said, problems cannot be solved with the same mindset that created them. One great example for me of mindset shift that was extremely successful is the video game industry. They were facing the same struggle as the music industry. So everything was digital, everything was available on peer-to-peer networks, and what do we do? And they took an approach of heavy experimentation. So the video game industry started experimenting with new business models, new ways for people to pay for what they were doing. And we got to the point today where if you play video games on mobile devices, you know that you can, in most games, you can start for free and play a lot of them for free, completely. So when it's time to consider purchasing an upgrade for $1, $2, €2, it feels fair, and people do it massively. And they also organize in the industry incredible gaming events where people, tens of thousands of people, fill up arenas to watch the best video game players play in front of their eyes, to meet and greet them, to buy the merchandising. So the gaming industry, video game industry, was very, very careful and very switched on what the consumers were asking for. They were asking for more, to try games more, to be involved more in the lives of successful gamers and things like that. Now they are doing extremely well. So this is just an example. But now I would like to virtually introduce you to one of the gurus of the music industry called Bob Lexett. And I warmly suggest, if anybody is interested in the music industry and in the development of the music industry, to subscribe to his newsletter. And so I just collected a few of the Bob-isms that I really think ring true, and they're all from the newsletters of last week. So he's a guy that is, has a very clear message and is very consistent in his delivery. Today, if someone is pirating your music, that's a good thing. Wow. That's a good thing. It's, if you are in the music industry, number 2 in particular, because your goal is to get people to listen, if at all. Today, what is lacking is not, before money, is attention. So, pirating your music, wow, people are interested in what you have to offer. You will monetize it in different ways. Okay, so this is your goal. He not busy making new fans is at risk of losing his career, his or her career. Of course, that's all I mean. Today, it's all about creating new connections. Creating connection and nurturing these connections. Music is a marathon. Your goal is longevity. In the business model of streaming, a lot of people are not happy with streaming income, and they make it very loud and they're not happy about it because they compare it with the one-off sale. The one-off sale of the record or the MP3 or what it was. While being on streaming, being relevant on streaming platforms for a long time is so much more profitable than just having a record that sells a lot once in your career or a few times. It's about the story that spreads. It's not only music, it's your vibrations, it's who you are, what you stand for, which kind of people react to what you do and how you do it and what you say. And that story will spread naturally. If you're a pro and have built an audience, it will follow you anywhere. And the kind of connections you can build today are so strong, powerful, and long-lasting if you do it correctly. It's about doing the work and letting your fans spread the word. So this is totally, the opposite of the 10 steps to the super successful marketing campaign, which will have some of these, absolutely, but this is much deeper and much harder. But it's what works and will work continuously, regardless of what other technology that we're using. We're looking for energy, we're looking for passion. Radio helps, getting technical here, but today the playlist rules, so you need, in any case, to get on, to remain on top of what is drawing the attention and how playlists on Spotify and similar services are where people discover new music. There is no discussion and no competition. Disruption always comes from the outside. Yes, a fact of life, I would say. Spotify is a good thing because it creates new opportunity. It literally, Spotify created a new revenue stream for musicians that did not exist before because they are paying musicians. And some are unhappy with what they are being paid. Some are very happy, and we'll see that. But it creates new opportunity. If you don't believe this, that Spotify is good, you're part of the problem, not part of the solution. So if you understand what it's bringing to the table, obviously you will leverage it. So real life examples. How are we doing with time? Not bad, right? Real life examples. For the grown up, Ron Pope. Ron Pope is a guy that is completely independent, and he built his career, as I wrote, from the ground up. He gave this number himself. A couple of years ago, this number from a couple of years ago, now they are for sure much better. So he had 44,500,000, almost 45 million streams on Spotify over 12 months. And he was paid $251,000 for this, which is a very good payout compared to a lot of the stories that we hear about Spotify. His advice and the way he made it is retaining 100% ownership of his record, of his recordings, and of his publishing rights. And he underlines the fact that a conventional record deal gives you between 12 and 18%. So it's the difference between 100 and 12 and 18%. Of course, if you do a record deal, there are other advantages in doing that. Hopefully, not always, but hopefully there are other advantages. But then what you sell comes to you in this kind of ratio, 1/10, 2/10 of what you sell ends up in your wallet. He doesn't have access to radio in the US because radio requires a lot of marketing dollars that he doesn't have. But he counts on word of mouth. Remember what we said before, the story that naturally spreads, the people that will follow you everywhere. Here's the example. And he doesn't have millions of fans. He has tens of thousands of fans. Tens of thousands of fans. He's not huge like the big, top 10 world names. But that's what he needs to make really good money. And he just, explained that my digital sales have declined in the past 12 months, much as everyone else's. have across the industry, but my overall revenue is growing. This is only from recorded music, let me underline that, and only one platform that is the most popular, Spotify. Then he tours most time of the year, so he's making good money with that. He sells a lot of merchandising. We published last year a DVD with documentary, concert in different formats, different packages, and he's selling a lot of that. So he's making much more money than what we see here. This is just one. Okay? And then, as we are saying here, the future of the music industry is being shaped as we speak, and that's a fact. Example number 2, the art of asking. Amanda fucking Palmer. That's her name, it's not my fault, so. Really. So, that's Amanda. And she signed with Warner in the late 2000s. And when you sign with a major label, it's not obvious that they will actually let you record anything. They just give you the right. They are right to choose you to record, make a record, and etc. She was picked to make the first record, so they did the record, they promoted it, and it sold 25,000 copies. 25,000 copies. She was dropped by the record label because for Warner it's not enough. It's too small. And so she went to a crowdfunding Kickstarter, and she raised $1.2 million from the same 25,000 people. On average, about $50 each. So, again, you build your tribe, you do it with authenticity, you do it with hard work, they follow you. So she built her tribe, they followed her, big success. Was it a one-off? A lot of people said, okay, she was lucky for some reason. Was she lucky? I don't know. Today, she never did another Kickstarter after that, but she moved to another platform called Patreon. Patreon doesn't pay you by project, but your Patreons decide how much to give you by piece of content that you publish. So every time you release a song on Patreon, I decide to give you $1, $10, whatever. So she's on Patreon now. She has about 8,000 Patreons, so somebody's missing, and they will not be missing for long. And with 8,000, she's getting $34,000 per piece of content that she puts out. She records a song, $34,000. She puts a video, $34,000. She writes a blog post, an extended blog post, $34,000. Okay? It is possible, it is happening, she did it twice. So, I don't think she can be pointed out as somebody who, was particularly lucky. I'm not saying that people can do the same, in the same way, but they can actually definitely use the same approach and principles that she used. And everything about her is based on the relationship with the fans. And I warmly suggest you to read her book if you are interested in her story, The Art of Asking, and absolutely to watch her TED Talk, in which she tells her story before Patreon, so after the Kickstarter campaign. And her key question in this TED Talk is, we need to change the question from how do we make people pay for music to how do we allow people to pay for music. But she had this realization when, after a concert, a fan came to her with $10 and said, please get it $10 because I stole your album from the internet. I stole the music. And she said, wow, I'm not even, if you didn't come to me, you wouldn't have been able to give me the money. So she started, this was before Kickstarter, she started going around in the head after the shows, and she started building, this approach of how do I allow my fans to support my career. And that's, quite a remarkable result, I would say. So, the last from Bob, phoniness is dead. And I'm a strong believer in this. Death is everything. So, strong suggestion, whatever you do in poly music, be yourself, play by your strengths, be consistent, and definitely there will be rewards. If you want to keep in touch, keep in touch. Thank you.